This is a Kirkendall Barrett presentation.
Hello and welcome to Breaking Down Bad Books, a podcast analysing trashy bestsellers from a literary perspective. Following my breakdown of Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey, I'm back in Forks, baby, and I'm looking at New Moon, Stephenie Meyer's shitty Twilight sequel about a depressed teenager, her werewolf best friend, and her vampire boyfriend who goes to Italy and glitters in the sun or something. New episodes are released every week. Read along with me and let me know your thoughts at PodBreakingDown on Twitter or visit breakingdownbadbooks.com for all of the links and contact information. Over on the Patreon, I'm covering Blanka Lapinska's 365 Days, which is a 50 Shades knockoff, but originally written in Polish, and much worse. You can access those bonus episodes at patreon.com/breakingdownbadbooks. Happy reading!
Hi readers, it's Les. We're going to get started in a second, but I just wanted to let you know a couple of things. First of all, we have a Facebook page, and the Facebook page is The Reality Reading Rainbow at facebook.com. Join us, we have a group, and it's a lot of fun, so hope to see you there. Also, I now have a Patreon for this podcast. I read books, the cost of books kind of adds up. So I started a Patreon. Now, this is not a requirement. I totally get it. People are in all sorts of situations when it comes to work. And if you can't do the Patreon, fine. I would rather you here listening to the podcast because your presence is my present. But if you want to join in and do it, there's some kind of cool perks. So just go to The Reality Reading Rainbow at patreon.com. Also, if you want to shoot me an email or make book suggestions, you can do that at The Reality Reading Rainbow at gmail.com. The Reality Reading Rainbow at gmail.com. That's it. On with the show. Well, hello everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. Another day of a lifetime of Hallmark. I am Les Kirkendall Barrett. Hello, Jason Bowers.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett.
And hello, Kurt Fitzpatrick.
Hello, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and hello, Jason Bowers.
We take movies from both Lifetime and the Hallmark Channel and try to make sense of them.
We're not very successful, though, because they don't often make sense, but they are fun to watch.
And we go down all kinds of rabbit holes. We talk about Angelian quite a bit. We talk about the show Enos.
June Squibb. We are team June Squibb all the way.
And we have Black China news every single episode.
So with that in mind, why don't you listen to a lifetime of Hallmark? You can listen wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Well, hello everybody. It is your favorite day of the week. It is time for another episode of The Reality Reading Rainbow, where I talk about books written by reality stars, primarily those from Bravo, and I try to make sense of them. I also do interviews. I am your host, Les Kirkendall Barrett, and today we have a guest. But not only does he have a Bravo podcast, he has a podcast about books as well. So this is the perfect tie-in. So let's welcome my guest from the podcasts Bravo, effing Bravo, and Breaking Down Bad Books, Nathan Brown. Hey, Nathan.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I'm glad that we could coordinate this,
Yes, I'm so keen.
One thing that I love about Zoom is that, it's making it easier for, two people who aren't in different places to podcast. I mean, so I'm in California and you are in Australia. So
yeah.
So it's 7:00 at night here. So what time is it for you?
It's noon the next day.
So yes. So you are calling me from the future.
Yeah.
So Nathan, tell us about your podcast. Actually, let's start with the first. What's Breaking Down Bad Books about?
Okay, so with Breaking Down Bad Books, I read trashy bestsellers like Twilight, 50 Shades of Grey, and I give them like a chapter by chapter analysis. I have an English literature degree, so I pretend like I'm actually analyzing it from that background, but really I'm just making fun of it.
Right.
Yeah, so
And,
at the moment we're covering New Moon and
Okay.
365 Days, which is just like Polish erotica.
now, how do you do it? Do you basically do a book an episode, or do you break it down from a few episodes?
I do
How you
a chapter an episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So really focused, really hitting all the main points of each book.
Right. Okay, and let's talk about Bravo, effing Bravo. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so that's just me and my friend Mariana. We just talk about the latest episode of whatever Housewives franchise we're watching. So we've just been covering Real Housewives of New Jersey, but we're going to start doing Jersey and New York episodes as they air.
Okay. And so viewing wise, do you get your episodes the same time we do here in the States?
Yeah, we get them. It's like our lunchtime that they will sort of come onto our apps and the streaming websites that we have. So I don't really watch them like as soon as you would probably watch them, maybe the next day. Yeah.
Right, but still, that's still pretty good.
Still, yeah. I mean, it used to be like you'd have to really scrounge the internet to find them, but now since I think we got Real Housewives of Melbourne, there's more of an audience in Australia, so they're really giving us the content on like Hey You or Foxtel apps.
Right. You know what sucks for us? So, because we get the shows on Bravo, but Bravo, they do not show the Real Housewives of Melbourne or Cheshire.
Have you seen Melbourne?
Oh God, yes.
Oh,
Gina,
so
I love Gina Liano. Love her.
They're coming back, but without Gina.
I heard, and that breaks my heart.
Same.
Because they did show them for a while, but what they did, which I think was absolute shit, is they would show the Real Housewives of Melbourne, but they would show it at like 9:00 on a Saturday morning, or they'd show it at a really weird time. So I think if they would show it at a legitimate hour, it would do well.
Yeah, definitely.
It would do well because it was, and for a while they did show, like I'd say for the first 3 or 4 seasons, because they showed it the season with Pettifleur. What season was she on? She was the worst.
2 and 3. She sucked.
Which I love the fact that, she's like, I wrote this book, Ditch the Bitch. And I'm like, that's already a book.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that book did not make sense. And the cover art for it was disgusting. It was like green, like bright green. And I was like, no one wants to read a green book.
And then Gamble. I remember Gamble. So what season was she? Like 3? Is she still on it?
She's coming back, yeah.
Okay. Oh, she left? And then
well, they've been on hiatus for a few years, so there hasn't been new episodes in a while.
A few years?
I think so. And then they were going to start filming like the start of last year, but then Rona happened. So now they're back. And Gina was going to be on the next season, but then I guess after the Rona shut down, she just wasn't interested. So that's a shame.
That's too bad. I love the episode. What was it? What were they? They were playing tennis or something, and Gina got her bronzer like all over the bathroom.
Yes, all over the towels.
Yeah. And then who else is there? Oh, what's her name? Jackie. Is she still on it?
Yeah, she's coming back.
But yeah, it's like, so it's really weird here. So like, another one that they showed, but it only lasted a season. We got the Real Housewives of Auckland.
I Oh yeah, but there was that really like racist person on there, wasn't there?
So that's why
Uh,
that ended. But I'm like, why didn't they just get rid of her and just continue the show?
yeah, exactly.
Because it was amazing. It was really good. I
It was
really
good.
enjoyed it.
Did you watch Sydney? Sydney wasn't great.
I did not, but I heard that it was not good. That's what I heard. I heard it was really trashy. Like it was too trashy.
It was too intense. There was no like light and shade. It was just all fight all the time. When it's just like you
Right.
want to see them have a bit of fun.
Right. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's the point. Is
Yeah.
you have the fun, you have the shade, you have the fight, but then it's still fun.
Yes, exactly.
So now what? Okay. So so then you watch New York and New Jersey because that's what you two are talking about now. Do you get
Mhm.
all of them? So do you get Beverly Hills? Do you get Dallas? Do you
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
how
We
many of
get
them
the
do you
lot.
watch? Do you watch them
So
all?
I watched, I sort of stopped watching Dallas. I was
Y-
watching it and then I dropped off. Um,
You didn't miss anything. You didn't.
that's what I thought. Like I was enjoying Tiffany Moon, but then it's just like all the camping trips. I just
Right.
Carrie and Deandra, it was just all getting too much for me. So
Yeah.
I might come back to them later, but I couldn't keep up with Dallas.
Well, you know what? I think because it, it got bad, but I think the reunion is worth a watch.
Well, I might do that then.
Okay,
Yeah.
the reunion here came out this week, and the only reason I would say it's worth a watch is because Tiffany Moon is not taking shit. Tiffany Moon
Fantastic.
has come in hot. She is not putting up with shit, and it's fun to watch.
That's good. I'm glad. Because they were shitting on her for no reason. And it was
Yeah,
just a bit annoying to watch.
yeah. Now, okay. So, which would you say is your favorite?
I think Melbourne's my favorite, but of the US ones, I would say New York it
Okay.
just brings it every season.
Did you see the premiere?
Yes.
Oh my god, let's talk about it.
Okay, let's do it.
What did you think?
Well, I didn't miss Dorinda. I thought I would have, but I barely registered that she wasn't there. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Ebony's a good addition. I think she's
Right,
going to be fun.
right. Well, and I would say with Dorinda, and I like Dorinda,
Yeah.
but her last season was definitely a drag.
Mm.
It was
She had some
definitely
anger problems.
yeah, and it was definitely more just, and obviously she was going through things, and
Yeah.
she was and she was very unhappy. But yeah, I was from the school of, yeah, maybe she does need to take a little break. Maybe she does need to take a year off,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know?
I'm interested to see Heather back. I
Yeah.
don't know how that's going to go.
I don't think she stays the entire season
Mm. She seems like a bit of a quitter, to be honest.
because she's a friend of, and I think, and this is in the news, so this isn't even spoiling anything. She ends up having a fight with Leah and like left halfway through the season.
God, I love Leah. Leah's
I do
so
too.
cool.
Now, I am kind of baffled though with her whole conversion to Judaism though.
Yeah, I'm a bit unsure what that's all about. Like, like, I don't know if it's genuine or if it is, where's this coming from? Like, it seems really odd.
Because, and it's like, in my family, my sister converted to Judaism, but she married a Jewish man. And so that's why she
Yeah.
converted. And Leah is saying, or I think she was saying that she's going to become Orthodox. And Orthodox is like as conservative as you can get.
And she's not a conservative person, but I think she sort of doesn't know the difference between modest and modern because she seemed to get that confused.
Right. Because, my sister's Jewish, my sister's kids are Jewish, but they're not they're not conservatives. They keep kosher, but with the Orthodox, it's like where the men wear the yarmulkes and the women have to have their hair covered, and
Yeah.
they have to cover up. So I could see her converting, but I'm like, but Orthodox? That's a stretch.
Yeah, it doesn't fit with the image we already have of Leah throwing around tiki torches while naked.
Right. Right.
Mm.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
But,
like,
yeah.
no,
I
sorry,
do
go ahead.
enjoy her.
Oh no, I like her too. What did you think? How do you think the season's going to go for Sonia?
Not great. It seems like Lou and Ramona are ganging up. Like they've got a little bit of an alliance to try and, I don't know, edge her out or something. But she seems, Sonia, I mean, she always has a bit of an obstacle in her life, doesn't she? Like we're always rooting for her, but she can't catch a break ever.
Yeah,
and
she's
I
the
don't know why
underdog.
that is. She's the underdog, yeah.
I think, honestly, because, when you think about her story, she was married to like one of the richest people in the world. It didn't go well. So now they've been divorced for many, 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 many years, but it seems like she's still trying to get back to the life that she had before. It's
never going to happen though.
And you're familiar with her backstory, right? About how she got so they got divorced. He gave her money. He gave her money, but then she invested it badly. She invested millions into a movie that never happened.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right. So this is what happens. So she got a settlement or whatever it was, but it was in the, it wasn't in the high millions, but it was in the millions. And so she invested in a movie. She invested millions in a movie, and the movie never got made. And so she lost most of her money on this deal.
God, I would love to see that movie.
Yeah,
I would love for that to get made.
And I think it was a John Travolta movie. I believe it was a John Travolta movie.
Oh.
And so the movie never got made, which when you think about Sonia, it's of course Sonia would invest in a movie that doesn't get made.
Yeah.
And so, so she lost millions, and then she, I believe she even had to pay, she had to pay more. And then her ex-husband was like, I'm not giving you any more money.
Okay.
So, and she has a daughter. So I think the husband basically, took care of the daughter, support for the daughter, but he didn't give Sonia any more money. And part of her divorce, I think, was that house, the townhouse.
That crumbling asset.
Yeah.
No one else can draw a bath in that house except for her, apparently.
Right. Which she can't afford to fix.
Yeah.
And so, so it's so I think that's why we root for her, because nothing ever goes right for her.
It doesn't, but at what point is she the common denominator with all of those little things failing and crumbling around her?
Well, I mean, think about it though.
Yeah.
She could sell that. So she could sell that townhouse. And I think she was trying to sell it. She was trying to sell it, but I think it was she wanted too much money for it. Because think about it. She's trying to sell it, but it's falling apart.
Yeah, it's crumbling.
Right. So, I mean, she could easily bring the price of it. She could bring the price of that townhouse down and still make millions.
I don't know if she ever will. Do you think she ever would?
I don't think so, because I think there's a part of her that holding on to this townhouse means that she's holding on to that part of her life that she lost when she got divorced from her ex.
She's still not processed all of that, hey?
No.
Like the whole don't touch the Morgan letters bit.
Do you remember that?
Oh, so iconic, but also so sad, really, when you think about it.
Because, and think, did you watch when she was talking about how Like, did you see the episode where she had the slippers and the slippers had the monogram?
Yes. Dorinda didn't like that.
Right. Or, yeah, the Morgan letters. Or, like, she's talking about how she's in the blue book. Like, so she's still stuck in that. She's still stuck in that. She was once part of one of the richest families in America, and she still wants that status.
She's not going to let it go. She's not good at letting go. But we do love her.
No, oh no, I love her. And she's one of the ones who I bet she would be fun to hang out with.
Oh, totally. I'd rather hang out with her than, I guess, like Ramona or Luann.
See, I think I would like to hang out with Leanne. I wouldn't want to hang out with Ramona, but I think Luann would probably be kind of fun.
You reckon?
Kind of fun.
Yeah, I would love to go to her cabaret. Have you ever gone to that?
I have not, but I know people who have.
Oh, what a dream. I hope she tours to Australia at one point.
She toured last year, but the tickets were pretty expensive.
Really?
Yeah, and I know people who went, and they said it was fun. They said it wasn't worth the amount that they paid for the ticket, but it was fun.
Okay. That's a glowing endorsement of the cabaret.
But I bet Luann would actually be fun to hang out with too. Like, I bet without the cameras, she would probably be kind of like, I believe, she puts on airs for the cameras. So I bet without the cameras, she'd probably be a little more mellow. And I bet and for some reason to me, Luann seems like she would be nice.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Ramona is not nice. She's not a nice person.
No. Like, Sonia would probably be great. Like, Sonia, you'd be laughing the entire time, and she'd be really funny. Luann would probably be like nice and actually kind of cool, but nice. Leah would be great. Ebony would be great. But Ramona, I would probably end up getting mad at her and telling her to fuck off.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she'd say something rude.
Oh, yeah. And I can't wait for her and Ebony to clash when she keeps talking about the help and all of those comments that she makes. So I can't wait for her to get called out.
I know. And did you see like the scene where Ebony is like, I'm a bad podcast host. I'm turning off my phone. But Ebony, did you see the scene when Ebony is like, I felt uncomfortable when you said that, and I feel like I'm being gaslighted. And Ramona's like, you're gaslighting me. And you could tell Ramona didn't even know what gaslighting meant.
Oh, no way.
So what would you like to see happen? I mean, I know that we don't have a lot of spoilers. What would you like to see happen this season?
I would love a Tinsley pop in. If Tinsley, I don't know if it'd be post-breakup or pre-breakup, but I would love a post-breakup pop in with Tinsley, because I was really hoping for the best with her going to Chicago, but it just doesn't seem like that worked out. And if we can't have a Chicago franchise with her as the center, then I'd like for her to maybe be a friend of in New York again, maybe.
I think she's back. I think she's back in New York, I think.
Like back? Like living there?
Like not on the show, but I think she's back in the city, I believe.
Get her on.
I miss her. And she's very polarizing. Some people are like, no. And some people are like, yes, I want her. I'm from the yes, get her back.
Yeah, I'm team Tins.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I guess at first I was like, who's this? But then, I don't know, she's endearing in a way.
She grew on me and she held her own.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with like Dorinda. Like, she didn't let Dorinda, like Dorinda tried to bully her, but she didn't let Dorinda, she didn't let her win.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you want to see on Roni?
Oh God. Okay. So I want to see Ebony just get in there and like claim her spot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to see Ramona put in her place. I totally want to see Ramona put in her place. I want to see. So I want to see Sonia. How do I put it? I want to see her delusional, but then I want to see her kind of win at life in something too.
Yeah, we need that. We need to see Sonia win. And it would also be really nice to see her daughter at some point, if she's now of age or whatever.
Well, you know, her daughter now has an Instagram profile. That's
Does
public.
she?
Mm-hmm.
Anything
Quincy
interesting
Adams
on
Morgan.
there?
Yes. And she's an artist. She's very pretty. She and Sonia look a lot alike, actually.
Right.
And so, yes, she's it's Quincy Adams Morgan. You can follow it. It's a public account.
Cool. I'll check that out.
And then who else is left? Ramona, to be honest, I would not mind this being Ramona's last season.
Do you reckon?
I would not mind it. I think
she's a great villain. Mm-hmm. But I mean, the villain role sort of cycles around on Roni. Like you could get anyone step up to be a villain, really. But Ramona's just so infuriating. She brings out a lot in the other housewives. That's good to watch.
I think she's going to be the villain this season. Because last season it was Dorinda. Dorinda was the villain. Season before, who was this couple of seasons? Lou. Wait, because with the cabaret stuff.
Yeah.
And that was when Bethany was back. Bethany was still on it. So Lou was the villain the year. So yeah, I think Ramona is going to be the villain this season.
What did you think of Lou moving into that new apartment and not realizing she could see Tom's balcony? Are you buying that she didn't know?
No. It's like, you knew. Especially she and Tom were married. She had been to his house.
Yeah.
They were married. She knew where he lived. She knew where they lived. I think it's funny. Who, if you had a chance to bring someone back, would you, or if you did, who would it be? Or if you don't, then you could say you don't.
I would love to see Aviva back for another season of madness.
Okay. I think, and I'm glad you said that. Because I have always been convinced that I am one of the only people who loved Aviva for the wrong reasons.
Oh, I hated her. But that leg stunt, I mean, that's like peak for me, peak Housewives.
And let me rephrase it. I loved to hate her.
Yes.
And when she threw that leg, I was like,
and like you could tell it was planned. She knew she was going to do it. She went in wanting to do it, but it was still just so fun to watch. Like,
because especially when they showed the leg on the ground.
Yeah. And they were all so horrified.
Like, ah! So you're talking about Jersey right now on your podcast as well, right?
Yes, that's right.
So what are you thinking about Jersey so far?
This season started out so good with the Jackie Teresa fight where she just dropped the C word like 10 times in a row. I loved that. And then I think since then it's just all been about pineapples and the boyfriend that we haven't seen. Like, and Joe and Melissa fighting. Like, I don't really care for Melissa that much. So seeing her and Joe fight, I'm like, good breakup. That'd be great.
Are you even buying their argument, though? I'm not even buying the argument.
No, I don't buy anything Melissa tries to sell to us. We've been burned too many times before with the fake adopted sibling or the pregnancy storyline that goes
Right.
nowhere. She's so fake.
The psychic.
And we see through it all, but she tries every season and then she comes back for another season and doesn't mention it. She doesn't mention her previous fake storyline.
Mm-hmm.
But
what did you think about the whole Teresa rumor thing?
Oh, Teresa just wanted
Jackie.
to throw Jackie under the bus. Teresa made that up. She didn't hear it anywhere. She knew what she was doing.
So this is what I don't understand, and I would love your opinion on this. So we're both, because you're on Clubhouse a lot too, right?
Yep.
So on Clubhouse, and I was in a New Jersey room the other day.
Mm-hmm.
So there is this whole faction of people that are like, Jackie's awful, Jackie's horrible. I can't believe, especially with the analogy about Gia, I can't believe that Jackie is like fighting so low. I hate her. And I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. You're at a party, your party that you're throwing for your husband, and someone is spreading a rumor that your husband is cheating on you. What are you supposed to do? You know what I mean?
I was team Jackie in that moment when she said Gia did coke in the bathroom, because I just thought that was so fun and funny.
Right.
And like, I know they're always like kids are off limits, but I'm like, she wasn't really saying Gia did coke. Like,
Gia's an adult.
Get over it.
She is
exactly. She is. And Teresa opened those floodgates. And if Teresa really cared about her kids, she wouldn't be on the show.
Right.
In the end,
Right.
So I was like, you know what? It's fun. Gia didn't seem to care. I mean, I know she tweeted something later, but on camera, she didn't seem to care.
Right.
So I think Jackie did nothing wrong.
I think Gia didn't care until she realized that if she did care, it would get her more press.
Yes, that's exactly right.
And so, like, I was in this Clubhouse room the other day, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, Jackie is basically damned if she does and damned if she doesn't. Because if she speaks up against Teresa, then, oh my God, she's such a bad person. She's hitting below the belt. But then if she doesn't say anything, because remember at the one scene she ended up crying, then they're like, I can't believe she's crying. I can't believe. And it's like, well, what do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want from the woman?
Even before she had started crying, they were all saying to her, look at her, she's about to cry. Look at her, she's crying. And I was like, leave Jackie out of this. She wasn't crying. They were projecting onto her.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I'm a big believer in, if you start a fight with me and you make up some crappy rumor like that, then I have the right to come back at you. And there's no such thing as hitting below the belt.
Yeah, you don't get to set the rules of the fight that you start.
No, exactly. Because you making up a lie is hitting below the belt.
Yeah. And she's like, I didn't spread a rumor. I just shared a rumor or whatever she said. And I'm like, how do you not see that that's the exact same thing?
Right. Sharing the rumor is spreading the rumor.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Dolores?
I love Dolores. She's a queen. She is a queen. And I'm on her side completely with the whole David relationship thing. Like, I think it's totally fine to be dating a guy and not have to see him all the time and to not have to have a proposal. Get the Porsche.
Right.
Get the Porsche. I think that's a perfect relationship. And I don't know why, just because she said she maybe wanted a ring like 2 years ago, that she has to be held to that. Like, people can change and the other girls just need to get off her back.
And I look at it this way too. She's in her 50s. Her kids are all gone. It's not like they're going to be starting a family together or having little kids. So I think it's actually kind of healthy if she wants to have a relationship with him, but they don't necessarily live together. I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and she can store all of her nice stuff at his house. Like, it's perfect.
And obviously, it's a committed relationship her ex-husband and her son are living in the house.
Exactly. And we still get to see Frank Sr. We still get his like fun presence. So like, what's the problem? I don't see the problem. We don't really need David on TV to care about David. Like,
no.
We've got Frank.
I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was saying, do you watch What Happens Live in Australia?
Yes.
Okay. Did you see it the other night with the husbands?
I
the Jersey
listened to
husbands?
the podcast version of it. I didn't watch
okay.
it, but I heard their taglines, which were amazing.
After seeing them on Watch What Happens, I'm like, they need to create a House Husbands of New Jersey show.
Yes.
It could be like a half-hour comedy or a half hour of the guys just hanging out, playing golf. I think it would be amazing.
Put them in the summer house and I would be so happy.
Because this is the one show where I don't want them to get rid of any of the wives. Like even Melissa, I don't want them to get rid of Melissa because then they'd get rid of Joe.
Yeah, no, we need Joe. Even though he was aggravating me the past couple of episodes, we need him for story.
Oh no, he's a sexist pig, basically.
Yeah.
But like the husbands on this show, I wouldn't want them to get rid of any of the wives because then they'd have to get rid of the husbands.
I love the husbands. I love Bill.
Yeah.
Bill's great.
Yeah. And
Jen's a shit stirrer, but I enjoy Jen on the show. I think keep her for sure as well. Do you like Jen?
Jen has grown on me.
Yeah.
I didn't like Jen until she came on Clubhouse. She came into a Clubhouse room and she was really funny. Like really funny. Yeah. Now, has Clubhouse, and this is from all the franchises, has Clubhouse kind of swayed the way that you've thought that like changed your mind about certain housewives?
Not really, no. But maybe I'm not on it enough to get that sort of experience from it. But no, I'm a sucker for editing. So if they are editing someone to be a villain on the show, I'll buy into it.
Well, and I like just because in a couple of instances, like, you know, Jill Zarin has popped in, and I was always kind of about Jill Zarin. But then after Jill Zarin popping into Clubhouse, and the cool thing about Clubhouse is you actually get to sometimes talk to them yourself. So, you know, it's like I got a chance to ask Jill Zarin a couple of questions, and I was like, oh, she's actually very nice. I like her.
Yeah, I sort of feel like the show did Jill dirty. Like, I feel like watching the show, I was sort of like, Jill, meh. But looking back on it, I think, yeah, she sort of got a bit played by production, by Bethany.
Right. And then, like, you know, Tiffany Moon, I always liked Tiffany Moon, but then she was on Clubhouse, and I'm like, oh my God, I really liked her.
Yeah.
You know, Deandra was on a couple of weeks ago, and I was always kind of about Deandra, but then after like seeing her on Clubhouse, I'm like, oh wow, I actually like her. So it's been
I change my mind on her every week.
Oh really? How so? Explain.
Like I thought she was useless, and then I started coming around to her when she was sort of defending Tiffany, and then I would hate her again. Like she's just an insufferable person that maybe has a few good moments where I'm like, oh okay, I like you, and then I'm like, no wait, I remember that I hate you.
Do you think Dallas can be fixed?
Yes. I think keep Cameron, keep Tiffany.
Keep Cameron?
Keep Cameron, yeah. You don't like Cameron?
No, I hate Cameron.
All the more reason to keep her. Keep Tiffany, get rid of the rest. Oh,
but
no,
you didn't
keep
finish
Mama D.
But you didn't finish the season, did you?
No.
Okay.
I stopped when they were at the lake house, I think.
With the Bigfoot?
Yes.
Okay.
That's when I was like, I'm done.
Okay. Cameron, okay, I'm not going to spoil it, but you need to watch the reunion. Cameron did not do herself any favors.
Well, So maybe get rid of her as. Do you think it can be fixed? Then
Yes, I would. If I were them, I would keep Tiffany, I would keep Deandra, and I would get rid of everybody else.
Clear house, yeah.
And because, okay, let's go down the line. Stephanie brings nothing to the
That
table.
locker storyline that she tried to serve, I was not happy with it.
No. Brandy is like
Demon.
an asshole. An asshole. She needs to go.
Mhm.
Carrie's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Because, oh, that's right. So you didn't see the finale? Oh, God. See the finale? Maybe it might be a good idea for you to watch the finale as one of the worst finales ever in any franchise. But Carrie, like, just totally acted out. She just got way too drunk and destroyed shit at the place that they were staying.
Mm.
So I can't stand Carrie. Carrie can go. Brandy can go. Stephanie brings nothing to the table. Who else is left? Oh yeah, Deandra and Tiffany. Yeah. I wouldn't mind if they made Mama D a full-time housewife.
I would love that. That would be amazing.
Because think about it. Mama D brings more to the table than Stephanie does.
Completely. But she is like an older woman. Like she's older than she looks, right? So I don't know if she would be up for it. Oof.
She's in her 80s.
That's pushing it.
Now, I read, okay, so your other podcast is about books. And this podcast is basically, so how this podcast started out, before I started doing interviews as well, is I literally would read a book and so my thing is I read the book and then I see if the person, how they describe themselves in their book is how they present themselves on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So like right now, for example, I'm reading Shep's book. Do you get Southern Charm?
We do, but I haven't really watched it.
Okay. So there's this guy named Shep on Southern Charm. And I'm reading his book right now. And actually, it's funny because the way that he portrays himself in his book is pretty consistent on how he is on the show. Or like, okay, did you watch Beverly Hills with Denise Richards?
Yes.
So it's funny because I read Denise Richards' book. Actually, how Denise Richards portrayed herself in her book was consistent with how she acted on the show. Right. Because one of her big things was she's like, I hate confrontation. I'm really bad at confrontation. If someone tries to confront me, my thing is I get really quiet and I back away and I don't say anything and I really should speak up more and I don't. Which that's exactly what she did. Is very consistent. So I read Mama D's book. Now,
was that good?
I will actually, if you want to read it, I'm done. I'll send you the copy.
I'm very interested.
It's a good read. So the book was written like in the early 2000s. So like her husband was still alive. Deandra was a lot younger. And it's funny because so basically she gives her life story. And, you know, remember how she owned her vitamin company and all that stuff? So she gives her life story. She's a cancer survivor. She credits the vitamins to helping her cure her cancer. And it's a good read. And how she portrays herself in the book is basically pretty much how she is.
Yeah, I don't think that she's putting anything on for the camera.
Right. She talks about, like, remember the story she told about how she basically stalked her husband?
Oh, yeah.
Or she talks about that in the book. She doesn't call it stalking, but she had a plan. She had a plan.
Oh, I
And
love
she
Mother
did the
D.
plan.
Yeah.
I'll send you the book. It's a good read. And it's funny because you understand why there's animosity between her and Deandra. And it's pretty good.
Oh, there's a lot of animosity there.
Want me to tell you?
Yes.
So what happens is, and I think it explains so much. So she talks about how she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So she had to go get a mastectomy. The cancer was pretty bad, right? So she was having, her life-saving cancer surgery, and Deandra was in college, and Deandra had a choice of either being with her mother as her mother got her cancer surgery or going away with her college friends on spring break.
No.
And Deandra went on spring break.
Deandra. Like, I'm not surprised, but that's just so shitty.
And so she talks about this in the book. And then she's like, and we had to, she's like, and we've gone to therapy about this. So I think there's a part of her who has not let that go.
Yep, I would agree. That explains a lot.
But I'll send it to you. It's a good read. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
What else so if you could change anything about New Jersey, what would you do? What would you change?
I don't know if I would change anything. Just, I mean, I'd make Melissa a friend of.
Right. Okay.
Keep Joe through Teresa and through her being a friend of, but just less Melissa, and I'd be happy.
That's actually a good idea. That is a good idea, because then Joe would stay. And then there's people so how do you feel? Because there are a lot of people who say that Dolores doesn't bring anything to the table.
Bullshit. Which
I think that she's basically this season redeemed herself with these past few episodes.
Oh yeah, when she was going off at Joe Gorga, telling him he's a chauvinist and a Neanderthal, I was like, yeah, you go, Dolores. And when she wasn't letting up at the little apple picking scene, when she was like, put your hands up if you voted in the poll kind of a thing, I was like, good. I like when you're angry. But it's kind of nice to have a housewife, like at least one in the bunch, that is a bit more laid back and loyal, like the Robin Dixon type character.
Right.
Like if we only had like 4 or 5 housewives like New York has, you'd want them all to bring something equally. But in a larger cast, it's okay to have a Dolores.
And I kind of look at it this way. Like with New Jersey, I think everybody on New Jersey serves a purpose. Because Teresa's the shit stirrer. Jackie is like the insecure one, which I personally see nothing wrong with, because in real life you have friends or know people that are kind of insecure or kind of don't quite fit in. So I see nothing wrong with that. Dolores is kind of like the kind of the cool friend in a way. Like Dolores gets along with everybody. Dolores is kind of like,
and she's known them all for like 30 years. So like there's strong bonds there.
Right. She's kind of like the peacemaker of sorts. Like almost like the Switzerland. Like she gets along with all of them.
Yeah.
Margaret serves a purpose. Margaret's kind of like, the hyper go-getter friend. Like the fun friend.
Yeah.
And then, I think everybody has a role. But I wouldn't be mad if Melissa was a friend of, as long as they kept her and Joe, or like Joe on the show.
Yeah, definitely. Joe carries her.
You watch Potomac?
Yes, love Potomac.
So I guess, Monique's done.
What a sad turn of events that all was. What did you think of the fight between her and Candace, that punch up?
Okay. So I definitely have opinions, and not everybody's going to like my opinion.
Okay.
So, okay. So, okay, and let me preface this. I don't condone violence, but so basically, Candace was fucking with Monique.
Oh, yeah.
Candace was not only fucking with Monique, Candace was in Monique's face.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from the school of, if you get in someone's face, they might pop you one.
Yeah.
And I don't condone violence, but if you're going to get into someone's face like that, that's kind of the risk you take.
Yep.
I also believe people have tempers. People have a breaking point. You push someone in, and then remember, and what a lot of people keep on forgetting to mention is the fact that at the time, there was that horrible rumor going around that Monique's baby was a product of an affair.
Yeah.
Did you hear that about that rumor?
The trainer. Yeah. Giselle spread it a little bit, but yeah.
Right. So think about it for a second. So you have this person who's been like messing with you. You're with this group of people. You're hearing all these rumors about your marriage, about your child, which, you know, hearing a rumor about your child, I'm sure takes things to a whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of pissed off anyway, you know? And then you have this person who allegedly is one of the people spreading this rumor who's in your face. And you're like, okay, I've had enough. I've had it with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom. So I don't condone her hitting her, but I get why she did it. I totally get it. Now, the fact that she then ran when they broke him up and then she went running after her, then that's like, okay, now you're in the way.
Yeah, it got a bit too far. Like we were all on Monique's side. Right. When she was really pummeling into her and running around the barn, that's when it became hard. And the lack of remorse at first. Right. But then Candace just played the victim for so long and so heavy-handed. I couldn't help but come back around to be on Monique's side at the end. Because
it's like, Candace, if you're going to get in someone's face like that, that's the risk you take. And you can't get into someone's face like that and try to egg them on and even say, hit me, hit me, hit me, and then get upset when they hit you. You said, right?
And Candace accepted no responsibility for that fight. I think she might have in the reunion, but for a long time, she was thinking she had no part in that. She was just the innocent victim. And I was like, you were saying, drag me.
She tried to sue her. She sued her.
Yeah.
Or she tried to sue her. She tried to press charges.
Yeah.
So that it's just like, you know, I'm definitely okay. It's almost like, you know how Brandi Glanville will get in someone's face and talk shit about someone, and then when they retaliate or don't want to film with her anymore or say something back, she's like, everybody's mean to me, and it's like, you can't do that.
You can't have it both ways, babe.
No. Mm-hmm. So I am bummed that Monique isn't coming back because I liked her on the show.
I did too. And I loved the binder at reunion. I just thought that was great. Like, if you're going to bring receipts, have them organized and tabbed. That was beautiful.
Right. And I'll just leave it at this. So yeah, the way Monique brought receipts is the way you bring receipts. Cameron attempted to bring receipts. This is not Cameron. No, the way that Cameron brought receipts was not the way to bring receipts.
What did she do?
She brought a pink bejeweled briefcase.
She Elle Woods.
Yeah, basically, with her receipts inside, but her receipts weren't even good receipts.
That's upsetting.
What do you think about the whole Ashley Michael situation?
Michael is just he brings down the reputation of Australia and Australians. I'm not a fan of him. What a sleazeball. And I just don't know why she keeps coming back to him, and that huge fight at Robin's engagement party when he was pushing everyone and he was being a drunk mess. The next day she goes on a honeymoon or whatever with, not a honeymoon, but a holiday with him, gets knocked up. I'm like, Ashley, what are you doing?
I wonder with her, because you know this story about how like her dad rejected her, and they even showed it on camera.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if it's a daddy issues sort of a thing, or she's like she was abandoned by her dad, so now she doesn't want to be abandoned.
Yeah, and I keep thinking, like, is it a money thing? But she never seems to have locked up the whole post-nup, prenup thing. I'm not sure if divorcing him will benefit her or if she's staying in it for the money.
Well, she has 2 kids now, though.
Yeah, that's true.
She has just 2 kids. So she could kind of... I'm wondering if he has as much money as he says he does.
Yeah. You can never really tell on this show, hey, because you could think, oh, they're rich, and then 2 years later they're getting sued because of tax evasion or something.
Right.
But I think he might be quite wealthy. I think Ashley might be wealthier than, say, Robin Dixon. I think she's up there with the Potomac.
Everybody's wealthier than Robin Dixon. Sorry, Robin. I like Robin.
I like Robin.
But let's be honest.
And I'm not too familiar with the geography of that whole area, but Robin lives really far away, right? Like she's in Baltimore, is she?
Yeah. So, because my sister lives in that area.
Yeah.
So Robin lives in Baltimore. So Robin lives like an hour away from them.
Right.
So that's why she's always late.
An hour is not that. That's why she's late. It's not that far, but it's like you're not really part of Potomac.
No.
Yeah.
No. She's like an hour away.
Mm.
So yeah, that is why she's always late.
Did you like Wendy?
Wendy grew on me. I didn't like her in the beginning, but towards the end, she kind of grew on me, and I think her husband is hot.
Oh, I loved Eddie. He was great. Yeah,
and
hot husband.
And so she's definitely coming back. So here in the States, like when you guys get the shows, do you get commercials? Do you get the Bravo commercials? So, about a month ago, they, what was it? I think, it was Atlanta, because Atlanta comes on Sunday night. So Atlanta was on, and I'm doing this in quotes. Something happened and a mistake happened, and 5 minutes of Potomac was leaked for the upcoming season.
Get out.
And so, and that's why I'm doing it in quotes, like it was accidentally leaked on television. And Wendy was there. Is
this on like YouTube or something that I can find?
I don't know. That's a good, you know what? That's a good question.
I'm going to do some searching.
It probably is. And so it's 5 minutes of the show. They're all at a dinner. Wendy was there. Wendy looked great.
Yeah.
Wendy looked fantastic. I don't know if she lost weight or what, but she looked really good. And it was Wendy. It was all of them. So it was Wendy, Ashley, Giselle, Candace, Karen. Like they were all there.
I wish Candace didn't come back.
Yeah. See, I wanted them to get rid of Candace and bring back Monique.
Me too, but it was never going to happen, was it? But then I think get rid of both of them then. But.
Well, Monique quit though. She quit on her own.
Do you believe that?
Well, this is okay. So what happened was, so they showed the reunion here, right? And the night of the reunion, after the second part where Andy was like really kind of laying into her, she then puts on Instagram, "That's it. I quit. So I think she had already re-signed her contract. Like that had already been signed.
Okay. Andy was going pretty hard on her.
Yeah.
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 I mean, she did, knock someone out, but he was going pretty hard.
It wasn't fair though, because if you're going to go hard on her, you've got to go hard on Candace too.
True.
And he didn't mention and you need to go hard about the rumor too, about the kid.
Yeah. Yeah, because Monique's husband, Chris, kept wanting to sort of bring that up in the reunion, as I remember, and Andy kept sort of shutting it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Because think about it. It's like, with a rumor like that out there about your family and about your kid, you understand why someone would be really angry like that.
Yeah, definitely.
And but yeah, the clip, the 5-minute, look it up on YouTube. It was a good scene.
I'm looking forward to Potomac. I don't know why it doesn't rate as well as some of the others, because
it does
like
now.
That last season, it does it?
It does now. The ratings have gone up. Their ratings are almost as good as Atlanta, and Atlanta's the top rated show.
Oh, excellent. That's so good.
And it's coming out in next month, I think Potomac is.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's coming out in June. So yeah, this past season basically put them on the map.
Well, and I know they hold it off the release of the episodes, but I feel like that's something we were all sort of watching in lockdown and just enjoying seeing non-lockdown films, like a non-lockdown film season.
And I think it was the combination of lockdown and then it being a good season too.
Yes. Yeah.
So then we've talked about New Jersey, New York, Potomac,
Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you looking forward to this season? What?
Just for the Erica of it all. I'm really looking forward. I mean, that's if they bring it up. The Beverly Hills girls, they don't really like to talk about.
They're bringing it up.
They?
Oh no, they're bringing it up.
I hope so.
Oh, you didn't
I know
see
they say that, but
you didn't see the trailer?
I saw the trailer, yeah, but I just never
trailer.
know if they've just cut out the good bits,
Oh, because in the trailer, there's a whole trailer about. No, there's a whole trailer like, did you know? No, that's the focus of the whole season.
Good. I'm looking forward to it. I really think it's going to be interesting to see how she handles it.
Yeah, and Sutton is getting the villain at it.
Oh, I love Sutton.
And Sutton, Sutton got promoted.
Thank God.
She's a full-time housewife.
She deserves it.
And so what I think, because in the trailer, they definitely made it look like Sutton got the villain at it. And I think what happened is, I don't think that she initially was going to be a full-time housewife, but she delivered so much that she got promoted.
Good girl.
But yeah, no, it looks good. So in the trailer, it showed like Garcelle and Erica are like in that desert, and Garcelle's like, okay, so did you know? And then there's another scene where they're all at the dinner table and they were like, okay, Erica, what did you really know? And she says, I didn't know anything. And one of them makes a face. Yeah. So no, it's going to be good.
That's good. I mean, I imagine Rinna's going to stir up a lot of it as well, right?
Supposedly, Rinna backs her. Supposedly Sutton is the one that like stirs everything up.
Wow, okay.
And Sutton and Garcelle are like friends. And so supposedly Sutton's going to stir everything up. And then Garcelle is going to actually make up with Kyle. So they're going to be friends.
I hate Kyle.
Right? I'm interested because, Kathy Hilton's joined, her sister, Kathy's joined the show.
What I did see the trailer where she was wearing that, what was that, like a weird bucket hat lampshade type thing? What was that?
Yeah. I think Kathy is gonna kind of personality wise outshine Kyle.
Oh, that could be hard.
And I'm wondering if Paris Hilton is gonna make like appearances.
I would love that. I would love that. That's what we want from Beverly Hills, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And I think Tori Spelling is gonna be a friend of.
Shut up. That's so good.
Yeah, Tori Spelling's gonna be, and Candy, her mom, they're gonna be friends of.
So this season might actually be good.
I think it is, because unlike the other seasons where it was like the Lucy, blah, 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 did Denise really sleep with Brandy? This is actually a real legitimate thing to, okay, Erica, did you or did you not know that your husband was ripping off old people and orphans?
I mean, she must have known, right?
I personally, and this is just my opinion, I think she did. My opinion. So for my podcast, so the way that I started interviewing people is because, so there's this guy here, he's a lawyer, and his name is Ronald Richards. And so he basically comments on the case. Like, he totally comments. And so I have him on this show a lot. And so after talking to him and the evidence that he's giving, and it's all alleged, I'm just gonna say alleged it's all alleged, of course.
Of course.
The information I'm getting from him and his tweets and stuff, I think she knew.
Yeah, I think she did too.
And maybe she didn't know everything, but she knew.
She knew enough.
And
she knew enough to benefit from it.
Yes. Well, so I've read her book for this podcast as well. And in her book, she talks about how he financed her career.
Yeah.
And she talks about it. So I think she knew something. And especially she, come on, think about it. She has, like, her glam squad costs $40,000 a month.
Ridiculous.
And up until she was on Housewives, she wasn't even making money with her singing. Like, as a matter of fact,
singing's generous.
Right. In her auto-tuning. But she was even saying that, she even says in her book that she wasn't really getting anywhere with it. And before getting Housewives, she was actually going to quit. But then she got Housewives.
Right. Okay.
And that's when she started making money with the caterwauling or whatever.
I just think, what's her husband's name again? Tom? Is it Tom? Tom. When he didn't go see her in Chicago, I thought that's the nail in the coffin to any relationship.
Right, of course.
Like, your husband has to come on opening night. You can't be like, oh, he was going to come to closing, but Corona happened. I was like, he should have been there opening night, no matter what. Especially
when you have your own plane.
Exactly.
When you have your own plane, you have no excuse.
Like, what was he doing?
Well. So did you watch OC this season?
No, I've never watched OC.
Okay, well, you didn't miss anything. Well, I didn't watch it this season because, were you familiar with what went down with Kelly Dodd and Kelly Dodd?
Yeah, I saw a few of her Instagram posts.
So a lot of people, I am not the only one, a lot of people chose to boycott this season, and I was one of them.
Good.
And I heard that I didn't miss anything. I heard it was a horrible season.
Yeah, I've heard early OC is good, but I don't think anyone has said it's been good for a while.
And it has not been. It has not been And did you ever watch early OC or no?
No.
You didn't watch any of it.
No.
Early OC actually was pretty good, especially, you know, with their OG, you know, they had their OG Vicky and you know, Tamara, and their OGs were pretty good. But then even their OGs kind of ran their course. Like they got rid of Vicky and Tamara, two of the OGs this past season, but it was kind of time for them to go anyway, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so just that, and then on top of the racist stuff too, I was like, you know what? I don't know. I'd rather use that hour for something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, oh my God, how long have we been talking? This has been fun.
About an hour, I think, so far.
This is, do you get Real Housewives of Cheshire?
It might be on like one of the streaming sites, but I've never watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth a look into?
Yes, I've only seen it. My husband is from the UK, so whenever I go to the UK, I watch it. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I would compare it to Melbourne.
Oh, really?
Except it's funny. So there, you know how like the women are rich for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So in Cheshire, they're all footballers' wives.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
So yeah, it's good though. It's a lot like Melbourne.
Okay.
So you'd really like it.
Yeah, cool.
Oh my gosh! Well, this has been so much fun.
So fun.
This has been so much fun, and it's so funny because what time is it there? Like 1 PM?
Yep.
So you can actually go have the rest of your day. I'm off to watch RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under. Are you watching that?
Yes.
Well,
it's only been one episode, but
yeah,
I like the queens. I like them so far.
Yeah, we're getting it. We get it at the same time. So like it comes out, we get it the same time you do. So it comes out like the exact same day.
Yeah, so in a couple of hours or something, I think.
Actually, for us, I think it's already out. I think it's already out. Because it's on because here it's on so we have the American RuPaul's Drag Race, which comes on our regular cable, but then there's a network called the WOW Network, the World of Wonder Network. And so all of the RuPaul's from overseas, we get it on that network.
Yeah, that's how I watched Holland on the WOW Presents site or whatever.
So I think for us, WOW Presents, I think it's already out. The RuPaul Down Under for
Lucky. Ours hits at like 4 p.m.
So who do you want to win? I like Karen in finance.
Oh yeah. I really like Art Simone and Maxi Shields.
So now what city are you in?
So I'm in Wollongong, which is close to Sydney.
So are a lot of the queens, are they like well known?
Yeah, Art Simone's well known. Maxi Shields been around, and Karen from Finance, I think everyone knows as well. She's like the most famous one. But some of the others I'd never heard of. And like I hadn't ever heard of the New Zealanders.
Like Coco Jumbo?
I think she, like, if I lived in Sydney, I would probably be more aware of her. But because I'm a bit out of town, I'm less aware of her.
I gotta tell you, because you've seen, hold on. Hey, I'm recording a podcast. My husband's in the other room, like chatting. Hold on. John, I'm recording a podcast. He didn't even hear me. I'm recording a podcast. We can hear you. Nathan, this is my husband, John. Say hello to Nathan.
Hi, John.
Where is Nathan?
He's in Australia.
Oh, I thought you said, because I heard you say Melbourne. Yeah. Hi, Nathan.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing? Oh, he can't hear me, can we?
He can hear you.
Oh, you can. How you doing?
Good.
How you going? How you going, man?
No, you can go now.
He hates me.
You can go now.
No, I'm British. He's going to make fun of me. I'm a Pom. He's probably going to make fun of me as well now. Right? There you go.
Anyway, so this is what
Does he want to get in on the pod?
No, he does not want to get in on the podcast. No, he does not. So you saw last week's though, right?
Yes.
So was that queen well known?
The one who went?
The one who went, yeah.
JoJo's a host. No, I'd never heard of her.
Because I was kind of bummed only because I liked her message. I thought, oh my God, what a cool message. Because she's a drag queen of color.
Yeah.
She has like this really good message. And then she was like a mess.
I know. And they really nitpicked on like the wig not being on right and everything. So it was a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
I would have liked her to stay around a bit longer, but there's only 8 episodes, so it's not like everyone can stay around.
Oh, that's
forever.
it? That's it?
Yeah.
Only 8?
Yeah, only 8.
Because the one that we just had here was like 13.
Oh, that went on forever.
Yeah. But yeah, so with that one, I was just disappointed only because I was like, come on, if you're going to be on RuPaul's Drag Race,
I know.
you should at least hide your wig.
I know.
We shouldn't see your wig cap. Come on. That's basic.
It is the basics. It was unfortunate. But I liked her personality and her confessionals were really funny.
I did too. Oh, I was surprised. I was surprised that she went early until then they showed, well, your wig. They did, and they were evil. They did like the close up on it. Too.
Oh yeah, they went in.
Who's the guy that's the judge? Who's the judge?
That's Reese Nicholson. He's a comedian. I don't know if he's New Zealander or Australian, but I have seen him around before at comedy festivals and things. He's quite funny. So I really liked him on the panel. I thought he was good.
Yeah. And they were saying what, Kylie and Danny Minogue are going to be on the panel?
They're going to be Skyped in.
Oh.
Just like Taika Waititi was last episode. I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Okay. He was cute, actually, Taika Waititi.
He's hilarious as well.
I was like, oh.
Hello.
But, they're going to be Skyped in? Okay. Now I'm
bummed. Yeah, because they would have all had to do the mandatory 14-day hotel quarantine, and I don't think Kylie was going to do that.
True. Because I thought it was going to be like when Lady Gaga was on a few seasons ago, and Lady Gaga shows up in the in the dressing room, you know. Yeah. Anywho, so tell us how we can find you. Tell my listeners how they can find you.
Oh, okay. So I'm on Instagram and Twitter at NathanBrown90, and you can just search for Bravo, Bravo, effing Bravo, or Breaking Down Bad Books wherever you get your podcasts. And yeah, that's me.
And I would, if you're up to it, I would love to have you back when I discuss a book.
Yes, let's do that.
And if you're up for it, would you be up to reading a book?
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, after I'm done talking about the Shep book, which I'll be done in a couple of weeks, because I'm kind of doing what you do. I'm breaking it down chapter by chapter, just because at first, what I used to do is I used to read the entire book and then do the podcast. And then I realized it's going to take me forever to get new episodes out. So I'm just going to read the chapter and then do a podcast after I read the chapter. I'm going to read Margaret's book from Real Housewives of New Jersey. You want to read that with me?
Tuna fish on a caviar budget. Yeah, why not?
So let's do that. Let's read it and then I'll have you back and we can talk about it.
Sure, let's do it.
Because a lot of times I talk about the books by myself, but it's always good to have someone to discuss it with.
Yeah.
And bounce things off and get your opinion. So definitely come back and we'll talk about Margaret's book.
Yeah, hit me up.
Absolutely. And thank you for coming on. Thank you for calling from the future. and everyone else, keep reading. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Les.